tackle teaching our kids that their bodies are theirs. I think that this is so important. I was abused sexually as a young child. I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone else. So I'll tell you some of the boundaries that we put up around our kids that I think are helpful. And we'll go from there. So when the kids are really young, I would have boundaries around who changes diapers, who's going to be allowed to help in the bathroom, who's going to be allowed to help them change their clothes, give them a bath, or stay alone with them. That should be a small circle of people that you really trust. And I feel like if you're not comfortable with someone in any of those capacities with your child, you don't need to apologize for that. Just, oh, no, thank you. We don't need to apologize as parents for setting a boundary around our children. Once your kids are old enough to know that they're naked, then we're going to start teaching them about bathing suit parts. Anything that their bathing suit covers is private. And so that lets your kids start to understand that those parts are not accessible by everybody. And so if anybody is talking about those parts or wanting to touch those parts, that needs to be reported to mom and dad immediately. Obviously, there's going to be situations with doctors and things like that. That's going to involve the parents. So we're talking about people trying to get access to your child's body that you are unaware of. And so we need to teach our kids that from a very young age. And so we kind of start there. As your kids get a little older and maybe they're away from you, they're more verbal, stuff like that. Whenever we get them back from anywhere, family member's house, friend's house, school, church, daycare, a party, anything, we're going to ask our kids, did anything happen there that made you uncomfortable? Was anything feeling inappropriate? Did anything feel like something you shouldn't have been doing or that you wouldn't have been doing if we were there? And so the reason we ask them right when we get them back is because sometimes it's very difficult for a child to bring up to you something that happened. They may not be able to articulate it. They may feel ashamed. They may be afraid that they're going to get in trouble. And so I remember feeling very, very ashamed, and I did not want to talk about what was happening. And I didn't know how to really even explain it. And I didn't know if I just felt like I was wrong. And so I ended up keeping this really ugly secret. And so I just feel like if we engage our kids in that immediately when we get them back from somewhere, then, or if they've been alone with a babysitter, even at our house, then what we're doing is we're letting our kids know, hey, my parents are going to be asking me about this. I'll have an opportunity to talk about this. We don't put that pressure on our kids to try and bring something awkward or uncomfortable up to us. We also want them to know they're never going to get in trouble for reporting things to us, that we always want to hear what's going on and they will never be in trouble for that. We want to teach them about appropriate touch versus inappropriate touch. We also want to respect their boundaries as far as their bodies. Once they're old enough to change on their own, to go to the bathroom on their own, to shower and stuff on their own, then we need to give them that privacy within our home so that they understand that those body boundaries still remain in place. Obviously, it's not safe to leave a young kid unattended, but I'm talking when your kids are old enough to care for themselves in that way. And then I would also have exit strategies for the kids. So, for example, if they're in a situation where an adult in authority position or something like that says, hey, I need to talk to you privately, close the door, where your kids can just say, oh, we have a family rule. You'll have to contact my parents for that. I'm not allowed to have closed door conversations with adults. And so it gives your kids a respectful way to exit out of that situation. And so we want to give them the permission to put the adult conversations back into the adults' hands. My parents will handle that so that kids are not having to deal with that on their own. So we want to give them exit strategies. We also want to use code words. If someone's going to pick up your child and say that you sent them to get your kid, they need to know the code word. If they don't know the code word, they don't pick your child up. You also want to give your kids strategies to get out of situations once they're old enough to have a cell phone and things like that, where they can text you something that just you guys know that means like, hey, call my phone, so that I can say, hello, and you can say, hey, something's come up, I'm coming to get you. It's a way for kids to not be embarrassed, but to be able to get out of a situation. And so we just want to start to think about ways that we can open those conversations, really make it a conversation that is not intimidating to kids, but that's rather, it's expected, and that we're going to really be checking up on this. We want people to know that we're raising up a generation of kids that are body aware, and that we are a generation of parents that are preparing our kids to exit those situations before they happen. Also, asking them those questions and having those conversations does help us to hopefully get intervention sooner rather than later, so that abuse doesn't hopefully begin or that it doesn't continue. So I hope that this helps.